Greetings all, my name is Kontrol. I'm a professional artist, a fan of classic comics, and an avid gamer. Alright, what I planned as a bog standard Let's Draw video spotlighting longtime favorite Overwatch now has to engage with a bit of controversy. No, not that. Due to the massive constraints on my free time, mostly due to an unhealthy commitment to thoroughly pillaging Destiny 2, I haven't been keeping up with recent developments in Overwatch. So, it wasn't until I began researching images of Brigitte's engineer costume that I discovered my favorite healer had been mercilessly reworked, nerfed by Blizzard. For anyone unfamiliar with Overwatch, by the way, thanks for clicking anyway. Brigitte is, or was, a support character, a healer, who was also capable of dishing out considerable damage to enemies, while being incredibly difficult to actually kill, because she carries around a battle shield, and she has a passive healing ability that's automatically enabled in close combat. Side note, I know she prefers to be called Brigitte, but I'm from New York, so. For many players, confronting Brigitte was a source of frustration. Certain death usually is. But I personally appreciated her nigh invincibility. I enjoyed sending an adorable support hero into the heart of battle to heap abuse on the Tracers and Winstons of this world. Deploying Brigitte was just my way of telling the other players, I like having the advantage. Okay, so Blizzard killed that noise. And my understanding is today she's way more fragile. Now travels with a police escort and a former bouncer from some Swedish strip club. This terrible news did not stop my plans for Brigitte pinup though. Obviously. I knew my very first Overwatch pinup would have to be a hero that I actually used. But the thought of trying to draw Diva's mech caused my eyes to spontaneously begin gushing blood. Upon closely inspecting the in-game character renders, though, it became obvious that drawing anything from this game was going to be a challenge. It seems that Blizzard's design aesthetic calls for vast amounts of small details across every inch of clothing and armor. There are also a myriad of three-dimensional shapes that make up the basic construction. Tackling an Overwatch hero isn't like sitting down to a nice afternoon of drawing The Incredibles. Adding to the problem was my determination to draw Brigitte wearing her coolest skin. Prove me wrong. The Engineer. I think it's called the Engineer anyway. If I'd drawn her in her extra bulky default outfit, I'd have way more online photos with different angles to help with the reference process, but then I'd have a drawing of a girl in a bulky outfit. How does that serve humanity? Not at all. Thank you. So the only hurdle left, beyond actually sitting down and drawing this bad boy, was figuring out a pose. The big complication there was how to depict her weapon in action. I didn't want the flail sitting locked into the handle, all boring. But how do you make a weapon that extends several meters out, a focal point, while giving the figure the same amount of attention? How the hell should I know? So after about 30 minutes of the tried and true trial and error sketchery, I arrived at this masterpiece. Not exactly groundbreaking, but all the vital elements are occupying their space effectively enough. Of course, the final version meant turning off easy mode and hammering in the bread and butter details of Brigitte's insane costume. It's a mad cornucopia of materials, shapes, and elements that more than once had me reaching for the eraser. By more than once, I mean 957 times. The supervillain of this drama is that accursed hammer. At no point did I ever come to grips with the shapes involved and how they interconnect. I thought about the horror of a Brigitte comic book series where some condemned artist would be forced to draw this costume over and over again, each depiction having to match the one just before it. Yeah, nope, nope, nope. Can I have that last nope to go, please? This kind of design is definitely the sole domain of computer code, where once the 3D model is rendered, it's Miller time. Or one-off fan art pinups like this one. I'll end with a quick rundown of the little things I love dearly about this particular design. From top to bottom. The headscarf with goggles. The small wisps of hair peeking out from under the scarf. Some actual exposed flesh on the arm and midsection. The unclasped bracket hanging loose on her overalls. The insignia on that funny towel she has slung around her waist. The huge attitude-adjusting gravity boots for when she makes Genji bite the curb. I want to give a big kudos to Blizzard. Whatever else you can say about those guys, they've definitely got some serious talented artists cooking for them. Anyway, that's about it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching till the end. This channel is still fresh out of the oven and in desperate need of some love, so if you do me a solid and hit that like button and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I'm having too much fun making these, so there's definitely more fan art coming down the pipeline. Kontrol out.